thatmovieguyUK.
Hi everyone, welcome back, or maybe welcome for the very first time. This week I'm not quite sure if I have anything to review just yet, so keep an eye out for any future reviews within this time frame. Regardless of that, middle of the month, it's time for a bit of mail and chat. This is the third edition of it, and you know what, I quite enjoy showing you what I picked up, along with giving you some recommendations of films I have watched during lockdown, which is going over 300. Follow me on Letterboxd, everything is below, so let's get started. First pickup is William Lustig's Maniac. As some of you know, I adore both versions of this film, the 1980 version, which is this, and the remake with Elijah Wood, which I think is tremendous. But I actually have never owned this, and this was going quite cheap on a group I'm on. And I was like, do you know what? It's been a while since I rewatched it, even though I have rewatched it countless times during my teens. And now I finally own it. Blu Underground edition, so 1080p goodness, happy times. If you have been tuning in to Talking Movies over the last couple of weeks, you probably have come across myself and Dimitri, well, bugging everybody about Oz Perkins. Oz Perkins is one of the most underrated directors in the world right now, and his film, The Black Coat's Daughter, is a horror gem that not many people are talking. This is called February in most territories, but it's The Black Coat's Daughter officially in America. I got this for like £6. Very happy. Very absorbing type of chilling horror. Leaves you with the willies, honestly. This has Kin Shipka and Emma Roberts in it. Tremendous feat in filmmaking, and a film that I am very saddened that hasn't got the attention that it quite deserves, so please check it out. As Charlie Kaufman is returning to film this September, I thought I would finally pick up Synecdoche, New York. I have seen this film countless times. It truly is one of the most depressing yet artistic films that you will see. Philip Seymour Hoffman's best performance in cinema, without a shadow of a doubt. Cannot wait to see what Kaufman brings next to the table, but Synecdoche, New York is very precious to me and one of my highest rated movies of all time. Probably one of the most promising directors to come out of China over the last few years is began, and I have finally picked up the Kino Lorber edition of Kylie Blues. I have seen this film countless times. I do not need to repeat myself about the importance of Bigan and what he's bringing to cinema right now. It's on Amazon Prime. Check it out. Honestly, it is one of the most fundamental pieces of film of the last few years. It is highly, highly rated, along with obviously A Long Day's Journey into Night, which you should have seen by now since I cannot stop talking about it. But still, Kylie Blues, check it out. Nobuhiko Obayashi sadly passed away early on this year, and the Housey director has a plethora of films that still need to be watched in the West. And Third Window have finally released Hanagatami, which is his last picture. This is a 3-hour venture that I have not gone into yet because time is not on my side. But once I have watched this, there will be a full review because I'm very hyped to see this one. As mentioned in the last mail and chat, I recommended All That Jazz. I am still floored by that film. It is one of my favourite films that I've seen during lockdown, and I wanted to get a Blu-ray version of it, but I couldn't find a decent edition that wasn't the Criterion. The Criterion is pretty pricey at the moment, so I have not gone for it. And then I picked up this edition. The edition had a really shitty cover. I think it's a Spanish edition. So I managed to get a custom-made cover of All That Jazz. I prefer this one at the moment, but it's a good holding place for when I eventually buy the Criterion, since I can't get the sale right now. But still, All That Jazz is one of those films that I cannot stop talking about. Recently, go over to the last mail and chat and you'll see what I had to say about it. Right, we're almost at the end of the pickups, I assure you. First of all, I just want to say a massive shout out to a top gent, and that is Carl Hobday. He has become a subscriber of mine and also a good friend. We have been talking about a lot of good films over chat, and always good recommendations. Shows me vast parts of the collection that he has. And he has been trying to get me to watch one film in particular for quite some time, and that is Gomorrah. Gomorrah is a film that I will crack open in the next 2 weeks after I finish the project I'm doing right now. Thank you very much for this, my friend. It means a lot to be able to, you know, communicate with you and share good films, so thank you very much. Also, when we were talking about custom covers and things like that, we talked about DVDs that don't have Blu-rays, blah, blah, blah. And he showed me a good idea what he does with some DVDs, and one in particular was Ken Russell's The Devils, which, as you know, I love. And we are still waiting for a Blu-ray of it, which may or may not happen, but he showed me what he did with his. He basically just changed his DVD edition into a Blu-ray by just cutting the bottom part of it. Doesn't really affect it. All the information is still below. Beautiful, beautiful cover. Thank you very much, good sir. This was a tremendous idea. You are a pioneer of DVD Blu-ray conversion, so thank you very much, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right, the last pickup, and this one was a absolute 5.5 for me. Meiko Kaji has been an actress that we have been talking about on Talking Movies for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I finally watched Female Prison Scorpion and I watched Stray Cat Rock. Preferred Female Prison Scorpion. I think it's a very good series, but obviously the set is out of print and the prices are quite high. But I actually got this box set for £25. It had all the discs, the book, the poster, everything. All of the series. I would rank it 2, 1, 3, 4. That is my preferred ranking of this series, but it is one of the coolest pieces of exploitation, but also it just shows how much of a pioneer Meiko Kaji was for female leads. She really was a revolutionary that has really transcribed over time and has inspired many, many actors to become who they are. So I'm very glad I got this. Very, 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 very happy. Right then, let's get to the recommendations. My first recommendation to you is Atom Egoyan's Exotica from 1994. This film was in the time frame where we had striptease, where we had showgirls, but Atom Egoyan's film is a lot deeper and a lot more thought-provoking piece of film. It is very quiet. It is a triangular type of story where all these characters, this narrative kind of weaves towards the end, but it is a truly reflective piece about loneliness and solitude. And truly, it is one of the most stunning pieces of film that I have watched in a very long time. It instantly became one of my favourite watches, and I would say probably it's top 20 material of all time for me. I'm not going to say too much, but I would definitely seek it out. You can see it on YouTube for free, you can see it on Criterion Channel. Blu-ray is obviously available in the UK through Curzon. Many, many ways to watch it, so please check Exotica out. My next recommendation is Francois Ozon's 8 Women from 2002. This is one of the coolest murder mystery films that I have witnessed. This knocks Knives Out well out of the park. It is a musical set in a mansion, and we tried to figure out who done it. And it has Isabelle Huppert. My next recommendation is Francois Ozon's 8 Women from 2002. This is one of the coolest murder mystery films that I've ever watched. It is a musical to begin with, so that adds to the level of genius within it. But it is a very interesting, well-paced, coloured, designed whodunit, and we try to figure it out. It has Catherine Deneuve and Isabelle Huppert, along with many great actresses. This was an utter joy to watch. You can only see it in the UK on iTunes, which is a bit bizarre, but unfortunately that is how it is right now, and there is no edition of 8 Women on Blu-ray that have English subtitles. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but that's Francois Ozon for you. My next recommendation is The Face of Another from 1966 by Hishiro Teshigahara. This is a very impressionistic POV spliced film that delves into the human psyche and how we perceive the world through the mind of someone who's severely had changes. And within a strange way, it's kind of similar to Eyes Without a Face, but what I really enjoyed about this was the deep psychosis of it and how it slowly builds into a very interesting portrait. And it's layered in symbolism, which I really like. And the symbolism for me is just the evolution of Japan after the Second World War and how people are treated and how culture has changed. Tremendous film. Absolutely amazed by it. I watched it on Criterion Channel. I know the DVD is pretty much out of print, so it's very difficult to get hold of. But nonetheless, seek it. We've discussed Obayashi already, but why not talk about another one? And that is His Motorbike Hurt Island from 1986. This is a very cool teen drama, but what makes it so substantial is Obayashi's vision for it. It very much is a Obayashi film, and you can see it from his vivid imagination that transcends onto a screen. But also, it's not the conventional like drama that you're used to. It has a very lot of ups and downs, but also a very tragic ending. This is on YouTube right now, so do not hold out because it may disappear eventually, but it's worth a watch. And my last recommendation for this month's Mail and Chat is Altered States by Ken Russell from 1980. We've discussed Ken Russell already, but still, Altered States I would say is one of his strongest films. It basically is his version of 2001: Space Odyssey. I think it travels through the human mind of how we try to explore our creation, our existence through very vivid imagery that feels like very canvas paintings. I think Russell splices classic cinema with modern contemporary cinema in a way that not many directors can. This is a deep acid trip of a film that more people need to watch. I'm not going to say much about it. Go in blind is the best recommendation I can say, but again, very much worth seeking. It's on Amazon Prime right now in the UK, so... Right then, that's Mail and Chat done for another month. What do you think of my pickups, or what did you think of my recommendations? What have you been watching? What have you picked up? Always want to know. And thank you very much for your continued support. My link for my Letterboxd lockdown list is below. Follow me there. Plenty of good stuff to watch. Almost 300 as I mentioned. And my link for the 3 Films Festival, which I'm working on right now, is below. So if you can go out and support this, I would gratefully appreciate it. This week's Talking Movies, we're going to be joined by Graham, and we are talking about our guilty pleasure film, so 8 p.m. GMT this very Friday. Again, link is in the description for Huss's channel. It's going to be a very interesting one. We obviously know which one is mine. It involves felines, it's fine, whatever. And as we normally say on the channel, de danke, obrigado, merci beaucoup, arigato, dankeschön, bitteschön, all the shuns, and obviously, never change.